Hey, badass business owners, I have a question for you. Does it take passion to be successful in your business? Well, it's a great question to ask and something I want to pose to you. Right now, before we start, ask yourself this. Do you have passion for your business? Something popped into your head. Either you said, hell yeah, oh my God, I do. Yeah, okay, yeah. And then some of you said, no, that's part of my problem. I really don't have passion in my business today. Each one of you is going to be in a different place when it comes to passion for your business. Now, first off, let's ask ourselves, what is passion and why is this important? Because I'm going to bet that when you started the business, there was a passion. Now, here's the thing. Some of us have different types of passion. For some of you, you have a passion for what it is that you do. For others of you, you have a passion to serve your community. You saw a hole and you wanted to fill it. Some of you have a passion for competitiveness. You just saw the fact that, hey, nobody else was doing this well. I could jump in, I can solve it, and I can do it better. And some of you have a passion just to have business. You're just an entrepreneur and this just happened to be an opportunity for you. So there was passion at some point when you started this business. I think the question is, what was your passion around? Now, I will tell you that having passion for just one thing is going to make it difficult. You really kind of need to have passion in two different ways. For example, you might have a passion for what it is that you do, and you have a passion to serve your community. And the reason that you really want to try to have at least two passions is because when one is letting you down, the other one will get you through those troubling times. Because let's face it, business is hard and it doesn't always go the way that we expect it to. And no matter how much you love customers and how much you love to serve your community, there's going to be times when they're getting on your absolute last nerve, and it's going to start sucking out the passion you have to help people. But because you have this other passion to do what it is that you do, you push along and you're able to get through that because you know that at some point that ugliness that you're feeling towards customers will probably go away. So it's often really good to discover two different passions that you have for your business because it's going to help you when one is letting you down. Where the challenge comes in is if you only have passion in one way. For example, if you just have a competitive spirit and your passion in your business has to do with that competitiveness, well, at some point you might feel that you're spinning your wheels or you're tired of doing the daily grind of what it is that you do. And yes, you're competitive, but that passion is kind of going away because you start asking yourself, is the juice worth the squeeze? Like, is it really worth doing this? And therefore, you can start a downward spiral because you have nothing to help keep you in there. One of the problems that I see is when you only have passion in one area, it is very difficult to get yourself out of a slump. And without passion, it's very difficult to have that motivation that you need every single day to get up and attack the day. What happens is you start going through the motions. And for those of you that are lacking passion in your business today, I'm going to bet that you are just going through the motions. Every day looks like the day before. Your alarm goes off, you look at it, you're like, oh, not again. You know you have to because you've already got some commitments. And when you start the day, you really have no oomph, nothing behind it to be excited about to make things happen. So you kind of just go through those motions. And if you think that your customers do not see that lack of passion, I'm telling you, they totally do. Because when we lack passion for what it is that we do, we're not answering people back. We're not responding the way we should. We start cutting corners. We're just not as crisp on what it is that we do. And we kind of got that little apathy going on where we just don't really care like we should. So trust me, when you don't have passion in your business, your employees feel it if you have employees, your customers definitely feel it, and you feel it every single day. But when you have passion, think about it. When you're gung-ho and you're ready to make things happen and you're attacking the world, man, you're all over everything. You've got so much energy, you can't wait to dive in. But let's face it, it's very difficult to have the same amount of passion that you do on day one as you do on day 3029, years down the road, 10 years later, are you going to have that same passion? Now, one of the things that I've noticed is when you talk to people that have had a business for a very long time and you ask them, man, you're still very passionate about what it is that you do. What is causing that? What is creating that? Believe it or not, it comes back to what I was telling you earlier about having multiple things that you are passionate about in the business. Because a lot of times what they'll tell you is that, yes, they still love what it is that they do, But they've learned to, one, not be the main person doing it day in and day out. Because if that's all you're doing, then you do feel like it is a job. So it's important that as they grow the business and mature the business, they find a healthy balance between being the doer in the business and being the business owner. And this allows them to be able to keep that passion and to mix it up a little bit. They also like the fact that they're constantly trying to improve their business. So because they take it as a game to make it a better business and to grow it, they're constantly challenging themselves to learn more about business and how to become more profitable in that business. They're taking chances, they're trying different things, and that creativity and that mixing things up keeps that passion going because they're able to find new ways to do things, and it sparks that creativity that they have inside. For some of you, you may never have had the passion in the first place. And this is actually a red flag. If you've never been passionate about your business, like you kind of started it, but the passion wasn't there to start with, you're going to have a much tougher time of turning this ship around because you need to have something that you're passionate about. You need to find something that you can have that spark and that joy for. And you also need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, is this the right business for you? And I know that sounds harsh because my whole goal is to help businesses get better and to improve and for people to find that passion. But I also know that there's some people that just should not be in business. And the hard part is weeding through. For example, I've known business owners that every time you talk about their business, all they do is moan and groan about it. Like you would swear they hate the business, they never want to do it. But yet, when you have other types of conversations with them, they're really excited. And they're excited about growing the business, taking on new things. But yet you would think that the business is terrible and they can't do anything right and everything's against them. It's so funny because on one hand, all they're doing is saying how much they hate it. They don't want to do it. And on the other hand, all they want to do is tell me about all the cool things and great things that they have going on. It's very short. And a lot of times they try to hide that part, but if you can get it out, you find out that there is a passion in there. And what you want to try to do is run towards the parts that do excite you in the business. And then you rediscover the love that you have for the entire thing. And there's nothing wrong with you tweaking the business. Maybe you started off doing certain types of jobs or certain things, but over the time, that's what you became known for. And you're like, man, that just does not bring me joy. I really want to get back to when I used to do this. Well, who's stopping you? Nobody is stopping you. If you have pigeoned yourself into a corner where that is not where you get the joy and the passion from, then it's okay to say, hey, as much as I make some good money doing what it is that I do, I really want to be over here doing this. Now, I don't recommend that all of a sudden you just cut that arm off unless you've got tons of money in the bank. But what you can do is start to pivot and work your way towards the other part, or create a second team to where you can keep that one side going and you can start building up the other part of your business. You see this oftentimes, by the way, with these major entrepreneurs who start these businesses that become very successful. They become bored because that passion that they had in the beginning was to create this massive thing. They had this vision, this dream. They create it, it takes off, they make gazillion dollars, and then they lose the passion, and then they go off and start another business. And it's not uncommon to find that there's some entrepreneurs out there that have multiple companies that they started that were very successful. It's because the vision and the passion drove them in the beginning. And once they created it, they're like, okay, I need to move on. There's nothing wrong with you doing something similar in your own business. Now, I'm not saying move on, but what I am saying is, can you pivot? Can you find a second crew or a different team member to run a different side of it that you just don't want to be a part of anymore? Now, that doesn't work for everybody. I understand that. But I think at some point, if you never regain passion in any way, shape, or form for any part of your business, you are just a ticking time bomb. It's just a matter of time before that business folds. And if you can't stand your business and you can't stand what you're doing, your business, like I said, your business is going to self-implode at some point. You might be better off just selling the business to someone else and then restarting a new business altogether, especially if your passion is in a completely different field than what it is that you do today. So ask yourself, is there an aspect of your business that you could tweak to and gain that passion and grow, or do you need to walk away from the business altogether? Because it's better for you to sell your business when it's doing well, or at least okay, than it is to try to sell your business when it's doing horrible, because nobody wants to buy a bad business unless they're just going to swallow it up and they're going to pay you pennies on the dollar than what your business is probably worth. Another thing that some of you might need to do is to take a vacation. I know that sounds simple, but maybe you need to find a way to walk away from the business for a while, because you might find that once you clear your head and you're away for at least a weekend, a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. Now, I know that sounds easy in theory, but I know it's very difficult, especially if you are a one-person band or you don't have someone strong to take over certain aspects of your business. But maybe you can shut the business down for a few weeks. Yes, you're going to take a hit in money, but you're not going to take nearly the hit in money that you would take if you had to close the business down altogether, or if all of a sudden you started losing business at a rapid decline because of that lack of passion. You're better off just saying, hey, we're going to be closed for these 2 weeks, but we will pick up jobs. And go ahead and pre-book all of the jobs after the 2 weeks if you need to be able to make it up. And maybe you'll even say you'll work double time to make up some of that money. But you've got to do something, because if that passion just isn't there, it is going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your business. It's going to hurt your people. It's going to hurt your family. It's going to hurt the bottom line, the money you put in your pocket. Passion is a crazy thing, because if you don't have it, it's going to be difficult to create the vision and the dream that you have. And when you're not making any progress towards that, your motivation goes down, and the less you want to try to do it. And you just stop thinking of ideas and ways to make the business better. You're just going through the motions and you're just checking boxes. Now, I will tell you that if you started your business without passion and you've been in this business for a while and you are trying to jumpstart and create passion, if you never had it from the beginning, the odds are you're not going to discover it later on, unless you find something about the business that does spark your interest. And maybe it's going in that other direction like we were talking about. Maybe it is learning your numbers, and maybe it is diving into the competition. I don't know. You need to find something that you can latch onto that can create that passion. The best way to find out what you are passionate about, by the way, is to listen to yourself. When do you get really animated when you are talking to other people? What lights your fire? I have seen people that have taken their business and they went from being a doer in the business or having a business that they do to where all of a sudden they completely pivot. Next thing you know, they've got a YouTube channel on it and they're creating all kinds of video tutorials for customers on how to do their own stuff. And next thing you know, they've completely pivoted. They were able to go to the creative side that they had, the passion to teach others. It was never the doing of the actual business that gave them that high. It was helping other people and creating something different. And what they were able to do is to take the knowledge they had of that business, but then go into a completely different direction and still make money. Now, that's an extreme case, but that does happen. Folks, life is way too short to be miserable every single day. And if you are miserable because things just aren't going the right way, you know what? We can fix that. We can help turn that ship. If you're just miserable because you're just not making the type of money that you want to make, guess what? We can fix that too. We can work on pricing. We can work on different things. But if you just have no joy and you just have zero gumption to get out there and to do something, that's a totally different problem, because that's a problem between the ears. And that's something that has to be resolved by diving in and finding out what is missing, what is triggering that loss of that passion. And you need to have an honest conversation with yourself if you even had it in the first place. And then what gives you that high today? That's what I call it. What gives you your high? Talk to your family and friends. Ask them what motivates you. What gets you excited? What do you never stop talking about? And listen for themes. Okay. I know my personal theme is I love helping other people. Now, I've been very passionate about all of my businesses and everything that I do, some more than others, I'm not going to lie. But the one thing that you can really get me excited about is just talking about somebody else's business, or helping someone grow or develop or discover a skill they didn't realize that they had, or the ability to do something. It's all about coaching. It's all about helping people hit their goals and desires that they didn't realize that they could do. That's what motivates me. So the question becomes, where do you get your high? Is it by seeing a job well done? Believe it or not, a lot of people ask cleaners why they like to clean. And one of the common themes a lot of them have is they love seeing the before and the after. They get such a thrill out of seeing how they can take something gross, dirty, disgusting, and turn it into this sparkling palace. They love that before and after. For some of you, most trade people, believe it or not, like that. They like to see the before and the after. They love to see what they create. It's a creative side inside of them. It's maybe not the business. One of the reasons why local small business owners are often accused of being really good at what it is that they do, but lousy business owners, is because most of you are really good at what you do. And you have a passion from that because you love the before and after. You love to see that, but you don't have the passion for the business. But the tough part is, without the passion for the business and the business side and learning your business numbers, it's very difficult to see the traction that you want to see the type of money that you want to see. And I'm going to bet for those of you that just aren't making the type of money that you should be making, you're going to tell me, yeah, when I think of numbers, you're right. I kind of, they don't excite me. Oh, I hate learning these things. Well, as long as that's kind of where you go when you're talking about your business numbers, no wonder why you can't make any money, because you can't get excited and passionate about it. But there's a way to get you passionate about your business numbers, because you can just take the thing that gives you that high, that thing that excites you, and create it and put it into your numbers. So for example, if you love the before and after, oh man, wait till I tell you, when you start seeing profits of $1,000 jump to $10,000 and you created that, that's going to give you that exact same high. It's just you're looking at it differently. You're just seeing numbers on a page and it's gobbledygook, as opposed to being passionate about seeing the before and the after, which is what gets you your high and creates that passion in what it is that you do today. Listen, I know I'm all over the place. It's just passion is a massive motivator for you in your business. It is something that if you can latch into whatever you are passionate about, you can take your business to that next level. But if you are finding that you are lacking the passion, it's important that you understand what is causing that. What is causing you not to be passionate today? Did you ever have the passion? Find multiple ways that you are passionate so that you have one to offset the other when you need to, just like we talked about. Every Sunday when I sit down to record this podcast, the biggest thing that goes through my mind is, how can I help create that passion within you? How can I help motivate you? How can I help teach you? How can I help in any way, shape, or form? Passion is a huge thing. Trust me, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm excited to get up every Sunday morning to come do this. In the beginning, I'm not, but that passion kicks in to help and to serve and to help you guys grow your business. And that's what gets me through it. That's what's made me do this for the last 5 years, is that passion. I don't make any money off of this podcast. I do it solely to be able to help you guys. And that's where my passion comes from. So ask yourself, as we've gone through this episode, and if you're still listening, where does your passion come from? Where have you been falling down? What has been hurting you? And if you're still passionate today, where does that come from? What are you passionate about? Tap into that, know that, commit that to memory, so that when you have those moments of that passion is weaning, then go tap back into what it is that you are passionate about right now in this moment. And if you're lacking the passion and you know you had it in the past, what gave you that passion? What created that excitement? How do you move back towards that? And for some of you, you've got no passion, you haven't had it, you've tapped into it, you've done everything you can, you just can't bring it back. You need to ask yourself, do I need to pivot? Do I need to make some changes? And do I need to sell? Do I need some time off? Every single one of you have a different question to ask yourself in regards to passion. All right, I'm just going to keep rattling on and on about this, and that's not what I want to do. I just wanted to spark a conversation. I wanted to plant a seed about passion inside of your head, and I want you to play around with that, and I want you to really start understanding where your passion comes from and where do you need to go tomorrow. And if your passion's missing, what are the steps that you need to take to either regain that passion or to make some big changes that you know you need to make. Passion is a wonderful motivator, and passion is what gets us through every single day. So make sure you understand at your core, what are you passionate about? And I really encourage you to do that exercise where you start paying attention to when you get animated and ask your family and friends what you can't shut up about or what gets you excited. You will have such great insights into yourself and how to create passion at any given time, because all you got to do is talk about that thing that gets you super excited. And with that, I'm really going to end this thing. I'm out of here. I will talk to you on the next episode. Now get out there, go discover your passion. Bye for now. Hey, badass business owner, before you go, as you know, I'm a huge believer in you knowing your business numbers. After all, it isn't about how much you sell, it's about what you keep. And the best way to grow your profits is to start diving in and understanding those business numbers. To help you on this journey, I have created the Know Your Business Numbers course. We will walk through how to read your profit and loss statement. You'll learn the key calculations that'll help ensure that you're making a healthy profit on all of your products or services, plus a ton of other good stuff that'll help you learn how to use those business numbers to create even more sales and profits. Just check out the link below in the show notes or visit knowyourbusinessnumberscourse.com. So if you're ready to increase those profits, it's time you start diving into your business numbers.